Okay, so today we are going to be talking about Google services. This is the um, first lesson that we're going to go over. First of many lessons. Today it's just going to be over the basics of Google Drive and what it is essentially. This is part of our Grow with Google series, and there's going to be a lot more videos coming out, a lot more meetings that we're going to be doing that you can review over at a later time and learn from. So, um, today's topic, like I said, is Google Drive, and it's just an overview of what it is and the services that Google Drive provides. So the main items we're going to cover today is what is Google Drive. We're going to talk about where you use it. We're going to talk about how you can use it, and then we're going to talk about why that's so important and why it's important for you to know about this tool and why it's so powerful and so effective and all that. Okay, so before I get started, I kind of want to talk about myself and experience because I'm sure you're wondering, well, why is this guy talking about it? Um, I myself am a graphic and web designer. I am the technology coordinator and paraprofessional at the Hettinger Public School. And I'm also a college student at Mayville State University. And all three of these things I use Google Drive for. It's an incredible tool that makes my life easier as far as doing homework, setting up things for clients, or helping out students or other teachers at the school. It's a very, very powerful service, and I've been using them for the past, I'd say, 5+ years, and it's been quite a great thing. Um, so what is Google Drive? We're going to go over that here. Um, According to the online explanation, it says Google Drive is a file storage and synchronization service developed by Google. Google Drive allows users to store and create files and documents, pictures, videos, and etc. on their systems, on their servers, and it also allows you to synchronize files across devices and share files. Now, I know what you're thinking. What? Wait, I don't get what any of that means. And that's okay. So basically, all Google Drive is, it's the equivalent of, it's just the place where all your files are at, but instead of them being on your computer, they're out online. So it's basically like it's an internet-based file manager, file explorer. So I'm sure a lot of you are familiar, like if you're on a Mac, you have a file explorer that looks like this, or if you're on a PC, you'll have a file explorer that looks like this. And these file explorers allow us to find our Word documents, our pictures, our videos, our this and that. So basically what Google Drive is it allows us to not only host our files online, we can also manipulate our files, share files, and all sorts of stuff. So that's really all Google Drive essentially is. It's basically Google's version of Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel. Also, too, it's a place where you can store your photos. It's a place where you can store your music and your video files. So it's kind of like a flash drive, but on the internet that only you can access. At least as far as personally. Now, Google has rights to it, being that you're using their system. Um, but it's basically your account that holds all your files online. So there's a lot of advantages to that. Now, where can you access this? You can access it in your browser, and that's like where you can view your Facebook and all your other websites that you go to. You can access this via your browser. You can also access it through like a smartphone or like an iPad or any kind of tablet. That's what makes this so powerful is that all your files are online on Google Drive. And regardless of what device you're using, wherever you're at, as long as you know your account login for your Google Drive, you can access all your files. As long as they're on Google Drive, you can access them anywhere. It's incredibly useful. So if you have a desktop or a laptop that you're working on certain files, and then you want to look at it on your phone or your tablet, you can actually do that. So it's really, really nice. So like I was saying, it's in your browser or on a tablet or a mobile device. So to access it on your browser, you just go to drive.google.com. And as long as you have a Google account or a Gmail account, as they may say, you are good to go. Now, if you need help with that, you can go ahead and reach out to us, and we can help you with that. Um, but yeah, long story short, all you need is to go to the website or download the app on your phone or tablet. So really, really nice, really, really convenient and easy. Now, how does it work? How does it, have all of its files in different places? So as you can see here, we have what they call the cloud. And I'm sure that's a term you might have heard on and off for a while now. What is cloud computing? What is that? So files and things like that, we're used to those being stored on a computer. Files, photos, documents, all that stuff. But now as time has gone on, we now have this new thing called cloud computing. And what cloud computing is instead of your files being on the computer, they're out on the internet on a private computer, a private server is what they call it. So let's say Google Drive, let's say if I'm working on my computer, and you can see my mouse here, let's say I'm working on my computer and I'm working on a document and I'm typing and it's saving all of that information onto the internet, into the cloud, okay? Then I can pop over to my laptop and I can continue working on that same document. And I'll see all the updates that I do from this computer. It'll go to this computer. And what we call this is called syncing. They're synced. They're all connected together. So when I make a change here, it'll show up on here, here, and here on your laptop, on your phone, on your tablet, any device that can access your Google Drive files. So it's really, really nice. And like I said, it hosts and stores your files in a secured location on the internet. AKA the cloud, using your Google account. Now, this allows your devices to access and edit the same files simultaneously. So like I said, you can access the same file from multiple devices, or you can work on it, close turn off your computer and then pick it up on your phone and continue working on it or viewing it or whatever. It's incredibly powerful, useful, flexible. Now, how do I use Google Drive? So all you do is you can create documents, you can edit documents, you can do a bunch of different things. You can do document slideshows, spreadsheets, posters, even. You can create online forms. You can even make websites. You can do so much with what Google Drive has to offer. You can upload your own files. Like, let's say if you have already photos on your computer or your own documents you already have that you might want to put on here, you can upload what you already have and it will work. It can recognize Microsoft Office file formats and convert them and everything. It's really, really nice. You can use Google Drive to organize your files. So if you have folders or if you have things organized a certain way, or if you want to organize them, it has that capability. You can obviously download files to your computer. You can, if you have something on Google Drive and you want to put it on your computer, or download it and then send it as an attachment to somebody, you have that option. So you can also share files with others, and this is one of my favorite features. So I can actually just click on this share button, which we'll go over here in future lessons. I can just click a share button, and I can share a file with somebody without emailing it. I don't need a USB drive anymore at this point. It's incredibly useful. And you can also even collaborate with other people, so you can work on the same file at the same time. So really, really nice. So what I want to do next is I want to give you guys a quick tour of what Google Drive is, kind of how it works, and then we'll go from there. So Google Drive kind of looks like this. Now, this area right here where you see some of my files, we're going to ignore that just because yours is going to look different, possibly empty. Maybe you'll have different files. But what you see here, this is the window of like where all your files are at and what you can do with them and things like that. So just to give you a brief tour, you have a place where you can search for files. Like if I'm searching for something, I can go in here and start typing. I have navigation on the left side here where I can see what's in my drive. I can see things that are shared with me. I can see the recent file. I have files that I've worked on. I can see files that I've favorited. I can even go into my trash, and I can even see how much storage I have on my account. So that's a brief kind of explanation of that navigation. Now in the center area, this is where all your files are going to be. So if you have Word document files, Excel spreadsheets, or slideshows, or folders, pictures, music, whatever, it's all going to be in this main area. And I have a few folders here where I have them organized based off of what I'm doing, and then I have a few files on the outside that I have, and I can move these files around. Like if I have this college paper that I have due, I can move this into my college folder and I can drag it in there. So I really recommend for you guys, when you have time, to get on Google Drive after you have your account set up and everything. Get on and mess around. If you don't have files, you can create new ones. Up on the top left here, you see this new button here. You can click on that, and you have options to create new folders. You can even upload files that are on your computer, like I mentioned. You can upload folders. You can create documents with Google Docs. You can create spreadsheets with Google Sheets. You can create PowerPoints with Google Slides. And there's a whole nother list of things that you can create underneath the More section, which we'll go over at a later time. But like, go in and make some new files by just clicking that new button and then clicking one of these three options, or a folder or whatever, and just mess around and play a little bit, and see how that whole system works and get used to it. There are a few other things that you can mess with when you're on Google Drive. You have obviously your settings and like a help and support and area, but you also have like a different style of view where you can view it more of a grid instead of a list. You can see detailed pieces of information by clicking the eye. You can see special details such as, a little preview of what the document looks like. You can even see, when it was created, the last time it was changed, all that stuff. You have a lot of things that you can play with. So I strongly recommend you go in here and play. So that is a brief overview of kind of what Google Drive is, and then kind of what this main screen looks like and what things are. So I'm going to quickly go back and finish out our presentation here. All right, so we did a quick tour. Now, there may be some additional questions you have about Google Drive, or some people may. One of them is, does it cost money? No, absolutely not. It's free. You get 15 gigabytes of free storage right off the bat, which for most people is going to be definitely enough. Most people are going to be using this for creating documents, PowerPoints, or Excel spreadsheets, and those don't take up much space at all. And for those of you who are, may use it for a place to store, videos or pictures, and maybe even music, you may run out of space, but there's some options for that. If you want more storage, you can purchase different storage subscriptions to Google Drive. So if you want more than just the 15 gigs, you can actually pay for that, and it's a relatively reasonable price. Will it work with my computer? Absolutely. As long as your computer is either a PC, a Mac, or a Chromebook, it will have no problem at all. And as long as it has internet connection and an internet browser, you are good. Now, I do recommend for an internet browser to get all of the perks and bonuses and features. I recommend using the Google Chrome browser. And if you have questions to that, you can reach out to us and we can clarify some of that. And then last but not least, how do I get my files onto Google Drive? So you can you have two options. You have the upload or sync option. And like I mentioned before, you are able to click that new button on the top left of our previous screen, and then you can choose a file or a folder, and you can upload things from there. So now, why is all of this important? Like, why do you guys need to know about this service? Why is it so valuable? So this basically means you don't have to pay $100+ to create documents, slideshow, or spreadsheets anymore. Back in the day, I'd say 10 years, maybe even more ago, when a student went to college, for example, they had to buy a computer, and they also had to buy a thing called Microsoft Office, or just Microsoft Word on its own, or whatever they had to get. And that was easily an extra $100 on top of their already expensive computers. So this kind of turns your computer into something that you can still continuously use and not have to pay any extra money to really use it. It's really, really nice. That's a big feature right there. Also too, like I said, your files can be accessible on many different devices, like laptops, tablets, smartphones, things like that. So being that, you know, you may have more than one device, or if you work on your computer but then you want to sit down and look at something on your phone or whatever, you have that flexibility. Or if you have multiple computers, it still works the same way. If you have a work computer and then you have a home computer, it allows you to access your files from anywhere as long as you have your login. Incredibly powerful and useful. You don't need a flash drive anymore. Another reason why this is important is moving files with flash drives, losing files and forgetting to save. That's a thing of the past. Flash drives you don't need anymore, because as long as you have your login, you have your file, you don't have to worry about losing files or forgetting to save them, because Google Drive has this awesome feature that it automatically saves all of its documents, especially, you know, your Microsoft Word, your PowerPoint, and your Excel, those kind of programs. It has this feature where it saves every change that you make. So that's really, really nice. We don't have to worry about always saving things every time we do something. And then last but not least, you know, this is a free service and it's a great tool for business owners, farmers, content creators, and definitely students to create documents, slideshows, spreadsheets, posters, and even websites. It's a fantastic, powerful resource that's completely free and really easy to use. So that is a big reason why, these are actually great reasons why this is all very, very important for you guys to know about. So you have all of these tools at your disposal, or at your disposal. Now, if you, you know, if you want to create a poster, if you want to create a document, now you have this to use. So that is it for this presentation. I'm gonna quick check in with our chat and see if any of our additional guest speakers may want to talk or bring up any questions before we move on to the Google Docs training. So I'm gonna quick get out of here and see if we have any questions.